Hello, everyone, and welcome to Scion of the Dark House, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition Gothic horror podcast. Since it is Gothic horror, we pretty regularly tackle subject matter such as blood, gore, body horror, violence, child endangerment, trauma, and a variety of other things. If any of these things cross a line for you at any time, please take a break. Your support means a lot to us, but so does your mental health. Additionally, we are down a member for the next few episodes, but we're still going. So that may lead to some awkward time jumps and other things like that, but don't be alarmed. This has happened before, but don't be alarmed. So we ended last episode after you had that jaunt into Ethel Drintel's brain and fought both Madame Drintel and Dr. Argenta in her strange brainscape, made a friend and then killed him immediately after leaving.
Yeah.
But after that jaunt, you went and met with Arthur's friend Dove at the Shovel and Spade, received the payment for the job with Gideon Herbert, as well as finding out that she was put out on a job to kill Sebastian Argenta in prison, which he currently resides. After a brief conversation in which we found out just how sadistic Percy wanted to be in the moment, he received a message saying that they were studying his sister at the Staff of Night after her little incident, and they had a question about whether or not they were aware of what the Cats of Ulthar were. And we're going to skip a bit ahead. The group made their way to the Staff of Night and went to most likely a chamber of some kind that is somewhat of a dormitory, but also probably a little more surveilled than the other dormitories outside, where Bella would probably be at the moment. You met with the wizards outside, and Rerek offered his services to go and assist in any research and promptly left. The other wizards are still in conversation with you while you are there, and Bella is somewhere in the background. And we would begin there. We would probably be meeting with Maximillian Dupree, the ferret weasel who somehow does magic, and his assistant, I forget her name.
Moira LePage.
What was it?
Moira LePage.
Moira LePage.
LePage.
That's what it was. With his assistant, yes. Moira LePage. And we'll begin there. So I don't think I've got an answer to your question. I'm assuming you don't know what the Cats of Ulthar are.
No. Why do you ask?
Well, I ask because while studying her, there was, well, she kept making some very strange comments, asking why we had so many cats, why the cats looked so weird, but there, of course, as you can see, there aren't any cats in the room. After a cursory casting of see invisibility, we found that she was indeed surrounded by very strange looking cats. We did some cursory research and we found, and he kind of takes out a book that's already open. And on the page is a very strange looking cat. It is a drawing of a cat floating in the air. It is completely hairless. It looks like it would be a Sphinx cat. but instead of 2 eyes, it has 3. It has no mouth. There's just solid skin where the mouth should be, but its mouth is on its chest. And the tail splits into 2 about halfway up. There's not really much known about them, just that they're drawn to sources of aberrant magic.
What exactly does aberrant magic mean?
Well, aberrant is like, I'm sure you've heard of beholders.
Yes.
Those are aberrant in nature. And of course, they have their own magic. Sometimes they reference it with psionics, although that's not the same thing. But it usually refers to things like beholders and mind flayers and things of that nature. So I think we've kind of pinpointed maybe what her sorcery is, although we've never seen it before. If she has these cats around her, her magic probably comes from an aberrant source of some kind.
And what does that mean for us?
Honestly, I don't know. The other reason we ask is the only book that we found any reference to these particular cats. There are references to the cats of Ulthar and other books, but the only book that actually goes a little bit in depth and talks a bit about them and was the place where we got they gather around aberrant magic and their kind of watchful entities is this one. And at that point, Maximillian Dupree closes the book, and the cover is a very plain cover that just says "The Far Realms and Its Beasts," written by Ludwig Kritzwald.
Oh.
Yeah, we found this book very, very deep in the library. I don't think the box had even been opened, but it's the only copy in the library that we've found, and we have multiple copies of incredibly rare books. So it is interesting that your family has an author in it that has written such books. I'm not sure what that means for you, but
I can go try to dig up some things about Ludwig. If I'd guess if there was a source of aberrant magic in our bloodline, and he wrote a book like this, it's probably from him.
Possibly.
Professor Dupree, forgive me. Your specialty is necromancy, is it not?
No, it is sorceress studies. I specialize in locating and tracing different sources of sorcery to various places, as well as, of course, developing the curriculum for our sorceress students who learn a bit differently than other forms of magical practice.
Fair enough. Forgive me, I misunderstood. What I'm getting at any rate, is there not a necromancer to whom we might speak that would maybe be able to get us in contact with the author of this book? That seems like the simplest way to gather more information, although I don't know much about it.
Yes, it is a bit tricky, especially with people who have died a long time ago, or sometimes who died in certain ways or whose souls might not be in the usual places. Which means that there's a possibility that we will not be able to contact the author. That no one will be able to find him. It's a bit hit or miss when it comes to souls, specifically souls that are not freshly dead. It can be a bit tricky.
Understood.
But we could inquire. It might take a while to get that authorized. We do very strictly regulate the passages of spirits in and out of the academy in any form. We
of course,
have quite a bit of magical energy around here, and we don't need this place to be haunted. So we try our best to prevent that from happening.
Right, naturally. Well, I suppose if you wouldn't mind looking into it, then we'd appreciate it.
Yes, we certainly will.
Lark's just gonna, I actually had a question for you, Prof. Have you ever encountered a sorcerer whose magic changed suddenly on them? I'm just a little curious if that's normal.
No, not necessarily. Generally, sorcery comes from a very specific place. It is not such as switching studies or swapping extraplanar entities that might be gifting you powers or things like that. If that were to happen, that would probably be because there are multiple sources in which one can draw their sorcery from, possibly, but that is incredibly rare.
Lark's just gonna be like, interesting, because I used to be a little more chaotic than this when I was back home, but he kind of like glances over at Percy briefly, and he's like, something about coming over here to the material plane changed a little something. But I was just curious. It's fine.
I haven't really looked into multiple sorceress origins for a single sorcerer, but that might be a realm of study I should go into.
Thank you, Professor. I hope, even though Bella is a bit of a unique case, that you'll still be able to help her.
Yes, we should be able to. She hasn't displayed any erratic or unstable expulsions of power or anything like that. So she's probably, with the exception of her sorceress origin, she's probably a pretty typical case.
Okay. Well, we'll do some digging on our own as well. Let us know if there's anything you need.
Of course. Well, I will need to go and assist your draconic friend in doing more research. I assume that you have all of your questions answered.
Yes, thank you.
Far from it, but I suppose that's all we can ask for now.
Okay. Well, all right then. Well, I will hopefully see you later, and hopefully see you under less mysterious or stressful circumstances.
That would be definitely appreciated. I think I'm going to go up to Bella after he leaves.
Yeah, you've kind of been in the hallway, and the room that she's in, it's more spacious than her bedroom at home is. There's a nice bed there. There's windows, but it's weird because those windows shouldn't be there and they shouldn't be showing the scenery that they do, but it's the magical academy. All kinds of weird things happen. And she's kind of just sitting there, and you see her kind of watching various spaces in the room where there's like nothing there.
Yeah.
Just kind of staring.
Bella? Hey,
Oh, hey.
how are you holding up? We haven't had a
Better.
chance to talk much ever since I came here.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot has changed. You can't see the cats either, can you?
No, they told us about the cats. I can't see them.
I guess I was just hoping someone else would. I mean, they said they could see them after they cast a spell, but I don't know. I guess I'm just not the most trusting.
I'm sure Professor Dupree is doing everything he can.
I'm sure as well. I just, it's just to think that a couple of days ago I was just some random seamstress working at regular old 9 to 5, and now I have weird interdimensional cats.
Hey,
Yeah.
Clark's just gonna be like, look at it this way. You're special now. You're better than the other random seamstresses. Do they get to see interdimensional cats? Hopefully not. Is that a side effect of being a mortal seamstress?
Not, I mean, no. Selena would see butterflies, but that was only when she was drunk. So I think
Fair.
that had more to do with the alcohol than the being a seamstress. Yeah, well.
They told you about the book, right?
What book?
The one where they found the information about the cats.
They just said they found information. Is there more they're not telling me?
It was written by one of our ancestors, by Cruzfeld. The only book that had anything to do with anything aberrant.
Well, that's not good.
It does give us a direction to look into.
It does, but it's more concerning, I guess.
We knew this blood had to come from somewhere. I guess it's probably him.
Maybe.
Could Lark do a history check to see what he knows about aberrations, being a non-human, not from this plane creature?
Yes. I guess you could make either history or nature.
It doesn't really matter because I don't have proficiency in either or a positive intelligence.
Oh, true.
Can Percy make a history check just to see if I've ever heard the name Ludwig Creutzwald at any point in my growing up?
Sure.
While they are doing their checks for flavor, can Jasmine smell the cats?
Interestingly, no.
Okay. All right. Just yep.
Got a 17. I think I'm mostly trying to discern, like, how long ago did this person live?
I'm trying to think of like how you would know the information that you
It would have had
know.
to have been like my dad saying something about the family lineage or something like that.
Yeah, it would have been like a really bizarre something you found or heard somewhere. You can't pinpoint exactly where, but
I think he would have lived in the house.
Yes.
Okay.
He probably also lived in the house the night all of them disappeared, except for one who was living outside of the house.
Okay.
And that's why you are a Kritzwald. It was not Ludwig.
Gotcha. Well, that kind of dashes. I was gonna hope that Percy could find a grave for this person, but if he disappeared, there's not gonna be a grave.
Yeah.
Lark got an 11 on his history or nature check to see what he knows about aberrations.
All you know is that they're very strange. They don't look like anything else from any of the other planes, and they apparently come from really far away. Vague terms like the farthest realm and beyond the stars are kind of thrown around in reference to them, but other than that, not really much.
Oh. Well, he's just going to be like, look, he's going to like hover next to the siblings for a minute. He's going to be like, look at it this way. It could be worse. It could be devils or demons.
I mean, is it worse? Is it not? Is it better? Is it worse?
Lark, please stop talking.
I'm gonna try to look into Ludwig, see if there's something I can find. Maybe Dad knows something. But yeah, it's definitely concerning. But I don't know. I guess it makes me feel a little bit better that it's starting to make a bit more sense. It's not just some random, oh, you have an aberrant blood, and we don't have any idea why.
I guess so, but I don't know. It's just weird that I'm the one that got it, you know?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Bella. This is definitely none of us could have ever have predicted this.
Or it's just gonna be like, chin up, dear. Now you can, as you grow your powers, you can do so many fun things that other people can't. I can
Lark,
make someone
say
bend
about
to my
talking?
will without them even knowing it's happening.
We don't tell people that.
That's
These are not
not
things we tell people.
concerning.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, hopefully your powers don't manifest like that. We'll have to wait and see what you can do.
Okay.
I guess.
You're in good hands,
gentlemen.
and the family's here. You can always get me with the sending spell anytime. So whatever you need, we'll do it.
Okay.
I'm gonna hug her for a second and then step outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really know where to go from here.
Good question. And this is not exactly my realm of expertise. If you told me there was a head that need parted from shoulders, I would know what to do. But yeah, I'm at a bit of loss myself.
I wish it could be that simple.
Would that it were.
The only thing I can think to do now is go back to the house.
Shouldn't we? I don't know. Maybe if we can
Rerek.
see, and maybe we should try to find more information about this Ludwig person. I mean, perhaps, I don't know. Could we maybe talk to your father and see if he knows anything
We can start
about
there. Hopefully, he'll know something. So we can head that way.
So yeah, your house is not far from the Staff of Night. And of course, your mother isn't home, but your father is, and he seems to be making himself a sandwich for lunch.
You got another one of those?
I can certainly make one for you.
That would be excellent.
Of course. He starts piling on the stuff for the sandwich.
While you're doing that,
always hungry.
you heard about Bella, Dad?
I haven't heard anything since they took her to the magical university, but I assume it can't be anything too bad.
It's not bad, I guess. I just a bit mysterious. Her powers come from aberrant blood. And well, she's been seeing cats everywhere. But the cats are a sign. They detect powerful aberrant magic. And the only text they could find that talked about these cats was a book written by Ludwig Kreutzwald.
Weird.
Do you know anything about him?
Not really. Your grandfather never really wanted to talk about the family. And of course, his father and grandfather and so on and so forth didn't really like to talk about the family. I think there's a box upstairs in the attic that might have some stuff in it.
Oh.
Maybe.
Can you take a look?
Yeah, let me see if I can dig it out, actually. And he leads you upstairs, and he opens like a trap door that has the ladder that comes down to the attic. You've seen this several times.
Yeah.
And you climb up into the attic, and there's things like old chairs that your father had bought some time before, but had bought new ones that are covered in sheets of cloth. Boxes of probably fine china that he had bought and didn't really have any use for. Various other things, probably some of your mom's things. There's probably her old wedding dress on a mannequin in the back corner somewhere. Just things like that. And he goes over to an old writing desk that has a sheet like halfway over it, and he pushes the sheet aside and pulls out a small trunk and clicks it open and begins pulling out there are like a couple of books, and there's a frame that has a family tree on it. Oh, he starts leafing through the papers. These might be useful.
Yeah, definitely. Can I just peep the cover of it? So the cover had the family tree.
It's like a picture frame that has
okay.
a family tree in it.
Gotcha. Do I see Ludwig on the tree?
Yes, you do.
And is it just like cut off under him because he disappeared?
Somewhat. Yes. So the names you see at I'm checking here. So at the top of the tree is Wolfgang Kreutzwald and Dorothea Kreutzwald, who had 5 children: Jacob, Ludwig, Anna, Clara, and Oscar. And that's Oscar spelled with a K. Wolfgang has a brother named Melchior, who married a woman named Elizabeth, and had 2 sons named Engelhart and Balthazar. It looks like there was a space created for a spouse for Balthazar, but there are not spaces for Jacob, Ludwig, Anna, Clara, and Oscar, or Engelhart. There's also a space underneath for a child, but there is no additional branches or leaves or anything on the tree.
quite old. It has not been updated in a long time.
Right.
Right.
And leafing through the drawings, there are portraits of the various family members doing various just everyday activities. There's also a lot of music written specifically for, like, sheet music written specifically for things like harp or the violin or the viola, that have been heavily annotated with graphite that's faded over time. You also notice, because the signature is pretty easy to spot, at the bottom of all of these drawings, there is an LK at the bottom of these drawings as a signature. From the drawings, you get that Wolfgang was the kind of patriarch of the family. Big barrel chest, well-kept beard, well-kept hair, almost wearing, like, he kind of has this sort of air of a military general, but probably didn't serve. Dorothea was also, has that sort of air of being almost like a military wife, very well kept as well. Melkor and Elsbeth. Elsbeth is very clearly the one that married into the family of the couple there. And both of them are younger. They have a little bit more wild fashion, but not too wild, of course. Jacob is the oldest. He wears very thick glasses and is oftentimes seen with books. There's several studies of him reading and looking through books and repairing books. Ludwig is the second oldest, and there aren't very many drawings of him, presumably because LK is written on every single one of the drawings. Anna and Clara are kind of, they're very close together all the time. They're very rarely separated. Clara is oftentimes seen with a wand. Anna, however, is not. And Oscar, the drawings of him show him being maybe about 8 or 9. He's significantly younger than all of the rest of his siblings. You see Engelhart, who has red hair like his mother, Elsbeth, whereas Wolfgang and Dorothea both have very, very dark brown hair. But you do not see any drawings of Balthazar.
I think Percy is definitely like looks kind of taken aback as he's like leafing through his family history here. Ludwig was an artist. I guess not impossible, and maybe even common for an artist to also be a researcher. But he's quite good. All the portraits are lovely.
I didn't know. I just know we had a chest of old things up here. I didn't think we had this.
do we know which Creutzwald? We have to know which Creutzwald is the one that survived because we're your descendant. But
Yes.
is it one of these?
It's Balthazar.
Balthazar. Okay, so we're descendants of Balthazar.
Mm-hmm.
Who was one of the sons of Elcor and
Yeah,
Elspeth? Melkor.
Melkor and Elspeth. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who was the brother to the patriarch guy?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Just making
Mhm.
sure I got all this right.
Yeah. I just took a lot of notes.
I bet.
Strange thing, there's not a single drawing of Balthazar, or my great, however many great grandfather.
Well, it's been about 400 years since the family disappeared.
So that's like what, one generation?
A generation is technically 60 years. At
Oh,
least
At
in
least on the
real
mortal
world
plane.
standards.
We're mortal, Lark.
I forgot how short-lived you kind were.
Yeah,
Well,
so if I do a very quick little calculation to see just how many, so 400 divided by 60.
7 generations.
Yes. Yeah, it's
Around
7-ish generations since the disappearance of the Creutzwalds that this is taking place. So there are a few people in between.
It's strange that he wasn't included in any of these records.
Well, since Ludwig was the one who apparently composed them, one can assume that their relationship was, tense. Which I'm imagining that's probably why he wasn't in the house when everyone disappeared.
Is there any record of Balthazar ever saying what happened that night that everyone else disappeared?
Not that I'm aware of. He was in mourning at the time.
Naturally.
Who was he mourning if nobody... Wait, was he in mourning when the family disappeared or after the family disappeared is what you're saying?
No, mourning the capital city of Gothia.
He was in...
I mean, as far as I'm aware, he did not have a mourning period after his family disappeared. But as far as I'm aware, what was being passed around in my family was that he had a bit of a falling out with the family and had bought a small house somewhere in the city of mourning and lived there until his death and took all of his secrets to the grave. So who knows?
Yet another person whose death has put them beyond our reach.
So aren't you mortals, Lark kind of just like motions to the book, you're rather particular about leaving things behind. How far away is this mourning place?
I think Gravesend would probably be the same distance, would be almost nearly equidistant between Mourning and Darkmoor. So however long it took you to get to Darkmoor, it would take that amount of time to get to Gravesend, and then that amount of time to get to Mourning, the actual city.
I don't remember. I think it was a day's travel, if I remember correctly.
I think it was more.
It was like 2 days?
Oh no, it was 2. We stopped
in Nashing.
Yeah.
Which was a ways away. Yeah. And then you stopped in Gallows, which was a ways away.
Right.
And then you came here. So it's that distance to Gravesend, and then that distance.
So probably like a week or something to get there.
Probably about a week, unless you teleported or rushed it. It's probably a week to get there.
Why were you
On
thinking
foot.
you wanted to dig up my great grandfather?
I mean, if he's not using his bones for anything, we might as well.
I don't think any of us know where he's buried. That's the weird thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, wouldn't he have been in the family crypt? Like if we were going to find him, I mean, we were already there.
Well, he wouldn't have been buried in the family crypt. The day after they all vanished, the grounds were basically viewed as cursed. No one stepped foot on that ground for 400 years until you guys did it last week, or however.
Yeah, it was a couple of days ago. Yeah.
And no one actually saw this Balthazar person die? There's no record of his actual death, is what you're telling me.
There's a record of his death somewhere, but no one knows where he's buried.
Well, I mean, wouldn't they have that sort of record on file with the state in mourning?
You'd think, but, you know, sometimes things just slip through the cracks.
And it has been for centuries, so.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, even though it didn't really give us any leads to go off of here, it was at least nice to have a glimpse into my family and the house.
Well, we did learn one of two things. Either Balthazar was an incorrigible cunt, or the rest of the family was involved in some business that he wanted absolutely nothing to do with. Presumably, it's the latter, given the circumstances of their disappearance, such as
Given
it were.
that Ludwig was the one who wrote the book.
There was like music notes at one part, right? Or like
there was sheet music.
Yes, there was sheet music.
Lark's just gonna use prestidigitation to flip the pages to the sheet music and be like, no, I don't read mortal music, but we could find someone who does. Take a look at that.
For what reason? Is this just sheet music?
Lark's just gonna look at you dumbfounded like, darling, there's literally magic in music half the times.
Bards do exist.
I guess anything's worth a shot at this point.
So we need to find ourselves a bard?
Is there like a bardic college somewhere, or someone singing on the street that we can find?
I mean, there's plenty of like musical shops on the high street where fairy godmothers and the copper cauldron are. That might have someone experienced enough to play some of the music for you. If you really wanted to go the magical route, yeah, the Staff of Night probably has a few people there who study bardic magic, and might be able to take a look to say, yeah, that would be magical, or no, it's just regular music. There's a variety of places that you can go. It's just what route you want to take with that.
Well, Lark, if you think this sheet music has magic imbued in it, I would guess going to the Staff of Night would be our best bet.
It's just a thought.
It's the only one we've had.
I do not have detect magic prepared today, so I can't cast that on the sheet music. Okay. Yeah, we can.
Well, actually, since you guys are flipping through it, could those of you that have been flipping through it make a perception check real quick?
Damn, Arthur's lack of interest in things.
I got 24.
I got a 17.
Oh, so both of you would notice. Most of these are titled something like Concerto Number 4 or Concertina Number 6 Spring. generic titles of pieces that people would either use to show that they're talented or to warm up with, or, just general stuff like that. Except for one. It is called The Dark Between the Stars. It is written for multiple violins. It's basically written for an orchestra.
So if I'm using prestidigitation, Lark's gonna stop at that one and be like, because thanks to that history I did, he's like, you do know the dark beyond the stars is where aberrations come from, right?
No, I did not know that, but that does seem pertinent.
He's just gonna motion with like a shadowy mage hand across it.
This definitely seems like it might be something.
Yep, called it. Your family made a deal with the devil.
Well, not a devil, it would seem, but yes.
You get the point.
Aberrations
Semantics.
are much more mysterious,
I
darling.
feel like it would be much simpler if it was just a devil.
It's all the same to me.
So should we take this to the
Yes.
the Staff of Night, or should we take it to the Candlelight Theater or something to have an orchestra play?
We should absolutely not take it to anyone who would play it. No.
When he says like take it to someone who's gonna play it, mage hand slap him in the back of the head.
Okay, fine, we'll take it to Staff of Night.
Yeah, Lark's just gonna be like, I know people back home who can literally make plants move and do their like little biddings by playing a violin. We're not taking this anywhere. Oh, well, we're not taking it to
humans.
Okay, fine. Let's go to the Staff of Night again.
God, we should rent a room at that place.
Thanks, Dad. This was actually very helpful.
Yeah, I guess so. Should we like frame these, or Aso has a big wad of the drawings?
I think that would look lovely.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll get on that. Don't forget your sandwich on the way out.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Munching the sandwich and walking back to the Staff of Night.
As you leave, interestingly, you see two familiar figures, Percy, standing outside of your house.
Dun, dun, dun.
Only one of them is familiar to the entire group, and that is Alex,
Ed.
Percy's cousin.
No.
Percy's cousin, who is speaking with a very priest-like figure who is holding a very fat calico cat in his arms, and he has a basket. You would recognize him as Chauncey, Percy.
Chauncey!
They
Hell
are
yeah.
in a conversation, and as you walk out, and they both kind of look over.
I immediately just run over it, like, Brother Chauncey, I'm so sorry I haven't come to see you yet. And I just like come back.
Yeah, he gives you a big hug as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody, this is Brother Chauncey, a
hello.
good friend.
And who is this adorable little fellow? Says Arthur as like Jasmine pats over the cat, like paws at its tail.
Oh, yes. This is Paunchy.
How sweet.
The congregation's been feeding her too many scraps as of late. But yep, she lives with me at the little chapel to Saint Hypatia down in the lower city. I've heard that the hospital had a little change of power recently, to put it lightly.
Yes.
So I baked some treats. If you, I guess your mother would be at the hospital.
Yeah, right now she is.
I can take I'm sure we could get them to her. Says Arthur around a mouthful of sandwich.
You can have one, and we're putting the rest in my house.
Spoil sport.
Yeah, there's definitely some. You can definitely smell it. It's like fresh baked bread, and there's also like cinnamon rolls and cookies, and also brother Chauncey has a famous like lemon seed cake with like extra frosting on the top.
Seed cake?
Oh yes, I
can't
only
believe
prepare
I
for
had this.
special occasions.
Mom will be so happy.
I hope so.
How have you been? How was the temple, and how's everything going?
It's going pretty good. I actually have been volunteering at the mines recently.
Why is that?
They've been needing some help with some of the miners. They I don't remember exactly what happened, but some of them have been just really strangely out of sorts. And I cannot figure out for the life of me what's wrong with them. You'd think like a concussion, but they kind of act like it, drifting around aimlessly. But there's just something else. I have no idea, but I was actually going to go back there after dropping this off to check on some of the patients that are there.
Oh, do you need any help? I'd be happy to lend a hand.
Always
yeah.
volunteering us for shit.
I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but
what are they
would
mining?
Be a great help. Here at the moment, it's coal. It's being sent down to Kessel to help with forging. But
well,
yeah,
I'd be happy to help. It's been far too long since I have helped out at your church, so it would be good, I think, for me, especially since Rerek is occupied. We can't return to the house. I'd be happy to lend a hand.
Of course, yeah. I'll definitely be taking all the help that I can get with this. I mean, I don't know if you want to tag along, he says to Alex. And Alex is just like, you kidding? I've been cooped up there for weeks. Yeah, I want to go.
Awesome.
You don't mind if I tag along, right, Pez?
Yeah, this day definitely just got a lot better. It's been kind of a confusing one, so this will be good. This is something more in my wheelhouse. You're helping, sick people. I know how to do this. I can do this confidently.
Oh, come on, Percy. Slaughtering abominations has also proven to be relatively in your wheelhouse as of late.
Here.
Kind of. I was more referring to the mysteries surrounding my family and why my sister is suddenly a sorceress. But that too, I guess.
Well, I guess I will have plenty of time for questions later.
There's a lot to catch you up on, definitely.
Yeah, sounds like I have a lot to catch up on. Well, to the mines.
Should we deliver this music to the staff of night before we leave Darkmoor, or it's your family, it's your business?
It would likely. Alex, you're a wizard. Like to show him the sheet music. We found some old sheet music from some of our ancestors. It can't be a coincidence that this seems aberrant and what's happening to Bella. And
right.
And they told you about the book. The book they found the information was written by a Kreutzwald. By Ludwig, Ludwig, the same person who annotated this music.
Oh, that's weird. That's really weird.
Yeah.
Why is that weird?
It's just too many Kreutzwald things happening at the same time, you know? Just, I don't know. Something's weird.
When it rains,
don't
it pours.
expect you to like know what this is, but are there bardic magic studies that we could send this to, or?
Yeah, there certainly is. They're a bit booked with preparing for a concert at the moment, but once the concert's over, I'm sure you could slip in for a quick appointment.
Sure. I guess we can't do that now. Maybe you could just tell me how to set that appointment up, and we'll handle that when the time comes.
Right.
But I guess now we're up to the mines.
Yeah, let's go.
Fine.
Of course, Alex is out at the front of the group, just like marching excitedly down the street, like, yeah, I'm not cooped up anymore. And of course, Brother Chauncey's leading the way with Cat in arms.
Yeah. I was like, he's definitely gotten a bit bigger since the last time I saw Punchy.
Yeah, he certainly has. I keep telling the parishioners to stop feeding him, but they can't help themselves.
Oh, he is just so cute.
Yes, he is. And so
Jasmine's like just a teeny bit jealous and like does her weird barking growl at Percy, like.
So you do get to the mines, which is barely out. It's almost half and half inside the lower city, outside the lower city. It is basically a huge hole in the side of the mountain that the city kind of butts up against. And there is ramshackle, it is a shanty town on the long dirt road up to the mines. There are miners walking back and forth in very sooty, dirty uniforms with their pickaxes and other tools that they're carrying around. There's some sitting in big groups having very simple lunches, buttered bread or sandwiches and apples, things like that. Pretty easy handheld stuff.
Can Arthur go up to one of them and ask if they have any ale? Like, his mouth is a little dry after this cinnamon roll.
Oh, sorry. No, we're not always allowed ale. You know, working in the mines, it's dangerous work. Got to stay sharp.
Bummer. Well, thanks anyway. I'll flip him a gold coin just for his trouble.
He poker faces his way through it. No one notices as he slips it into his pocket and just keeps on eating his lunch. As you get into the actual mine itself, you notice that the hole is not just a hole. There's scaffolding up it. And also, you notice it's been carved. It almost looks like bas-reliefs and archways, windows, flying buttresses. It looks like a cathedral. And as you go into what could charitably be called the main sort of entrance area, there's definitely a very cathedral-like aspect. There is a huge, what appears to be stone rose window. The different entrances, the different tunnels that go into different parts of the mine all have their own elaborate entrances. The floor has flagstones on it, but there's still scaffolding everywhere. There's still carts full of coal. There's sooty workers walking this way and that way. You notice a significant increase in dwarves and gnomes around here. It starts being that humans are kind of a bit of a minority, and you see almost no elves whatsoever.
Mm.
And as you are walking through, coming up to you is a very tall man with a mop of greasy black hair that he's kind of slicked over the top of his head, with a very fine looking suit and a very sour look on his face, followed by a very paunchy looking dwarf with a lot of almost robes on, not typical miner's gear, but robes, and he carries a staff where the tip kind of looks like a cathedral tower a little bit. And following him is a little dwarven girl with 2 braids, carrying a similar looking staff that's a bit more sized for her, with a cage under her arm with a canary in it. And the very tall man seems to catch the eyes of Chauncey and go, "Oh, Chauncey, yes. I'm assuming you're here to check up on the miners that we gathered up." "Yes, I've also brought some help along. Hopefully you don't mind." "Oh, no, I don't. The quicker we can get these miners up and working, the better. Well, it was lovely talking with you. I'm going to go fill out paperwork. Tell me if there's any updates. You know exactly where to find me." And he turns and he has almost this dramatic where the top of his body is significantly delayed, and he almost just whoosh away from you as he walks just off into the crowd of miners.
Do the dwarves follow him?
No, the dwarves do not.
Lark's just gonna be like, who was that exactly?
He seems lovely.
That was the owner of the mine. That's the very short, the dwarf speaking. That's the owner of the mine. His family's owned the mines for quite some time now. Yeah, he is like that all the time.
Do I need to insight check that to like see if they don't like him?
No.
Cool.
No. Well, there's been no significant updates since yesterday when you came in last, Brother Chauncey. They are still displaying their wanderings. You should probably go and check them out. So you brought help. Hi.
Hi, Percy from the Healing Church. Good to meet you.
Yes, that would be very handy to have. I'm Balthazar Stonebeard. And this, and he turns to the little dwarven girl with the cage and the braids. This is Elsie. She's studying to be a stone speaker, like myself.
Can't say I know what that is. What if he's a stone speaker?
Well, we are a grand old tradition in dwarven culture, kind of filling a similar role to a shaman. We speak with the stones and tell them what to do.
Well,
It's
that
a
definitely
very,
seems applicable in a place like this.
yes, it's a very spiritual and
Fascinating.
esoteric job that a lot of some of the more human workers of the mines don't really trust. But we have our ways and we have our reasons, and that's all we need.
Fair.
Well, faith is a beautiful thing. Well, we will be around. Definitely, if you need anything or if anything strange occurs, we'll be happy to help.
Of course, that would be lovely. Well, I'll lead you to the patients in their current state. Well, if you could come this way, and he starts moving off towards a sort of tent that they've set up in the entrance, and he opens the flap, and inside you see 3 men, humans. They look horrible. They look like they just have nothing in them. One of them they all seem to have a rope tied around them, around their waists, tied to a pole at the center of the tent. One of them is just walking in place, staring into the middle distance, feet sliding across the ground as they're at the end of the rope, but they don't stop. Another one is sitting on the bed, just staring off into space. And the other one is standing, and he has his hands up as if he's gripping a pickaxe and is swinging it very lackadaisically, but there's no pickaxe in his hand. And they're just...
Arthur's just like picking his teeth from a sandwich with a dagger, and he just like gestures. That doesn't seem right. He's like pointing at the miners.
No, they've been like this quite some time. They were lucky enough to uncover a tunnel. They were mining and the rocks fell in, and they found there was a tunnel. And there might have been some stuff down the tunnel. They were going to tell us about it, but then they started going all weird on us. And then they just ended up like this.
Mm-hmm.
Just empty husks. They won't eat. They won't sleep. They just...
That is
Let's
definitely
kind of just
bizarre.
circling them lazily through the air for a minute, just to see any lack of reaction.
There is... You don't even need to make a roll. There's no reaction.
He's just gonna idly be like, "Has anyone checked, like, if they've been bewitched?"
That's what we're concerned about.
Yeah, I think Percy's gonna walk up and do a medicine check on one of them. I rolled very well. That's gonna be a 25.
They definitely haven't eaten. They definitely haven't drank. There's no signs of physical illness.
Okay.
But it's almost like there's something about them that's just missing. They just seem soulless.
Definitely is bizarre.
Well, Brother Chauncey doesn't think this theory is correct, but I think from the old dwarven stories about mine woe, not really well known outside of dwarven circles, but it's when too many people die a bad death in the mine, die suffering or get trapped and starve to death. it permeates the place, and sometimes it becomes contagious and just sucks the laugh and hope out of people. Almost as if the mine itself comes alive and the darkness just swallows everything that goes inside. There's old myths about it, but Chauncey doesn't think that's the case. There's not really any evidence supporting that. There's a variety of other reasons that this could happen. I just need to find them.
Lark's just gonna be like, I mean, no offense there, Brother Chauncey, though I really don't care if you're offended or not. If enough magic permeates a place, strong emotions can influence it pretty easily. Where I come from, say for instance, you murder someone casually in cold blood and their blood spills everywhere. It's a great recipe to make yourself some red caps, which you don't want to do.
Oh. Yeah, that does not sound like a good thing, but the problem is I don't know how much magic is permeating the mines. The only ones who use magic down here are the stone speakers, and that's just to make sure that the mine stays up.
Alex, do you have detect magic? Can you do that? You're a wizard.
Let me see.
Our sweet wizard friend who's normally with us casts it for us, because I'm just a little sorcerer. I don't bother to know that type of thing.
Stop talking, Lark.
Sorry, I don't actually have it prepared today.
Why?
Are these the only miners that were affected?
At the moment, yes. And at this point, the little girl, she doesn't move her mouth, but she raises her hands and she makes some gestures. And she has bracelets on that the symbols on them glow. And you hear in your mind, not yet, but it's a possibility.
Of course it is. And I imagine that douche canoe out front wouldn't rather like his productivity being further impacted. Sorry for the language. Forgot there was a child.
She gestures again. I've heard worse.
Yes, our dear Arthur over here hates it when your rich people in power use the disenfranchised for their own good. I think he's going to be invested now.
Percy
just like
Percy's gonna walk up to one of the groups. Let me try one thing, and I'm gonna cast remove curse on one of them.
Let me read what that does.
It just says it removes a curse.
Moves a curse.
Yeah, removes one. Yeah.
You reach out and so which one are you doing it on? Kind of just for flavor. But
I'll do it on my walking guy. I like the walking guy.
The walking guy. You reach out and you remove curse. And when you do that, the pupils of his eyes glow bright blue for a moment. And he just, and then just collapses to the ground.
Oh my god, I just immediately jumped out and started like doing medicine, and I'm going to cast...
Oh, Percy killed one!
No, I get my medicine kit out. I'm going to use my healer feat to heal him.
It doesn't work.
Is he dead? Is he dead?
Yes.
Oh,
Stone
no!
cold dead.
Should I use remember?
And then out of his mouth at that point comes a trail of black smoke as this kind of
okay. Good job, Percy.
All I did was remove the curse.
Yeah, that seems like all you did.
Then that means the only thing keeping these men going was a curse.
Oh, quick above game DM question. Can I backtrack an upcast hunter's mark on Mr. Douche Canoe with the slick hair?
Yes, yes, you can.
Cool. Gonna just
That only gives
tuck
you
that in my
advantage
pocket
on
for later.
tracking him, right? That doesn't like let you. That's not like a GPS locator.
No.
Okay.
No, it does give me advantage on tracking him and then the damage and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I will.
think
I will give you
it
that.
is. Actually, I don't have a 3rd or 4th level, so it is only up to 1 hour. But yeah, I'm gonna say that I've marked him anyway. So I'll mark off
Okay.
the spell slot.
Yes, you can do that.
Cool.
So yeah, now there is a person laying on the ground, completely dead.
Yeah. He's
Well,
dead.
if we weren't getting paid before, we definitely aren't now. Good job.
I still say that's got to be mine. Whoa, that's got to be it. It's darkness that's swallowing up everything inside them. That's got to be it. It has to be something else. It's not mine. Whoa.
It was a curse of some kind. Which is on one hand good for the fact we know that we can remove it with a remove curse spell. But now we know that if we do that, they die. So is there a way to restore their bodies enough or something before we cast the spell so they won't die?
I don't even know what's affecting them.
You're supposed to be the healer.
If it's mine woe and it eats everything inside of them, well, there's nothing to put back.
Well, then why don't we just kill him and get it over with?
I mean, that's certainly a solution, but I'm not sure it's the solution we want.
Especially with,
I mean,
if that tunnel is cursed in some way, this will probably not be the last time it happens.
seal off the tunnel. Call it done.
That's what the last people did, and these all broke into it. They found it, and now this happened.
I forget that humans are stupid sometimes.
Oh, really, Arthur? That's the first lesson you learn when you're about to go interplanar traveling where I'm from.
It is a wise first lesson, to be sure.
It is also, are these the only humans employed here? All the victims are humans so far.
So far, but I mean, whole cities of dwarves got eaten up by mine woe, so it gets everyone.
All right.
Can I hold on. Primeval awareness?
Yes.
Thank you. I was trying to remember what the fuck it was called. Yeah, I'm just gonna concentrate for a minute on primeval awareness.
The other two are not undead.
Okay. Oh.
They are not undead.
Okay.
You also don't sense any undead nearby in any place where there might logically be a mine space. All of the undead seem to be above ground and outside of the city, at least at the moment.
Okay. So I'll share that with the group. There don't appear to be, well, the problem inside the mine at any rate doesn't appear to be undead in nature, as far as my senses can tell. Looking more and more like you might be onto something with this mine woe business. Sorry, Brother Chauncey.
I mean, if I'm wrong, but I still don't think it's that. It's something else.
Well, at any rate, I grow weary of talking. It seems that the only way to discover what it's going to be is to check out this tunnel for ourselves. So I say let's not waste any more of the day. Not that much of the light reaches in here anyway.
Lark's just gonna be like, well, after Arthur says that in response to Brother Chauncey, if it's not this mine woe, whatever that may be, that means there's a more intelligent force weaving curses against the people who work in the mine. Or maybe an old curse that's just been lingering for a while that those poor bastards found themselves caught up in. You can bury magic, but that doesn't mean it stops.
Very true. Well, the only way down there is either walking for hours on end, or we could take a rickety minecart.
A rickety minecart sounds like fun.
Well, that sounds like a good choice. So rickety minecart it is.
Except Jasmine doesn't do carts. I forgot. She doesn't like traveling on things with wheels. So,
Well, I mean, we could spend about maybe 9 hours walking down to the mine, or we could spend maybe 15 minutes on a cart.
How many hit points does Jasmine have?
what's that?
How many hit points does Jasmine have?
Let me double check. I want to say like 29, 30, something like that.
It's something to do with like numbers based on you, right?
It is. Oh, me. What, her HP?
Yeah,
Yeah.
her HP.
No,
Right?
she has her own hit die.
Oh,
She has, 29.
Well, I mean,
She's, hang on.
what
I
if she
forget how
wasn't
much she
awake
weighs.
when she went on the cart, Arthur?
Well, I suppose that would be helpful. Let me see here. Yeah, and she would weigh about 70 pounds. I was going to suggest maybe mage handing her, but listen, I'm sorry. She's very particular. She does not like things with wheels. It's been a struggle. Yeah, I suppose if she were asleep, she might not mind, or she wouldn't know. And she just kind of like looks up at me and like does a little growl.
yeah, I'm sure.
What exactly are you suggesting, Lark?
I'm just saying, if the problem is getting her on the cart, I can make it so that she won't be aware she's getting put on the cart for a little while.
I'll just like spend a second like petting her head and like looking at her, and you guys can tell like I'm talking to her and see if she's okay with it. And she just kind of like growls like begrudgingly, like, okay, fine now.
Well, we'll go and get the cart. It's gonna take both my assistant and I pedaling constantly to keep it at a nice clip. So if anything happens, which I doubt, but it could, it would be on you to make sure nothing happens.
Fair enough. And Arthur just kind of like draws his bow.
So, is the plan I'm knocking the cat out?
Yeah, I suppose.
If you're going to do that, you might want to wait until we actually get closer to the cart.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Jazz is just like looking around, like really unsure what's about to go down, clearly very nervous.
Well, I mean, if we want to get down there as quickly as possible, the cart's probably the best option. So
I know.
yeah.
It's fine. Go retrieve the cart. We'll wait here.
And Alex, of course, yay! Roller coasters.
Yeah.
So they lead you through one of the tunnels, still with miners going this way and that way, and so you get to almost like something between a train station and a dock, where there are multiple railways that go off, and you can see through some of the tunnels into this huge cavern with this maze of scaffolding and railway carts. And at the very, very end, there is a very rickety looking track with a cart on it. And on the other side of it is one of those seesaw action carts attached to the front.
That seems safe.
Well, we take what we can get here.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, the mine owner doesn't always like spending money, so.
I gathered that. And Arthur just kind of has
Yeah.
like a mischievous grin on his face that he doesn't say anything about to anybody.
Yeah. So, y'all can get in the cart. My assistant and I, and he kind of pats the dwarven girl on the head, are going to be helming the pump over there. We'll make sure it goes nice and quick.
Great.
Okay.
Thanks. Percy gets it, but my same right, Bishop. Protect us and watch over us.
Yeah, you see Chauncey kind of does a similar thing. He puts his hands on the side of the minecart and kind of closes his eyes, and you see him mouthing a prayer before he climbs up into it.
They're just like leaps up over the side, like feet first.
How many hit points does Jazz have?
29, didn't you say?
29. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I had to use a second level spell slot to do this. You're fucking welcome. I'm gonna put her to sleep.
Oh, with the
Okay.
sleep spell.
Does she have to save it or anything?
No, it's based on her hit points.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right.
So like
cool. Night, Jazz.
when they get close enough to the cart, Lark's just gonna kind of be like, everyone, get away from the cat. And just like point his wand and just whisper in Sylvan a little lullaby as he casts the sleep spell.
Just
That's
like
technically-
petting her as she goes to sleep. Percy, could you help me out? I've never had to put her in a cart before.
Yeah.
Do
Which
you want like
end
an
should I
athletics
grab?
check or
Probably a strength check because she is limp.
just strength?
I know
check?
she's
Okay.
like, what, 70, 90 pounds? So it should
She's
be pretty
70,
easy, but
yeah.
she's limp and
She's dead weight,
a cat. So
I got a 21.
I got a 13.
Percy struggles a bit, but you do manage to just, up and over. Cat goes in the cart. And everybody kind of climbs in. All right. Is everybody in the cart?
We're in.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Well, hopefully nothing happens.
I'm just
All
Arthur's
right.
just kind of like looking up at Lark, whom I assume is just floating above the cart, like
I mean, if it's
shaking his head.
If we're moving through the cart, Lark's just gonna watch as people like sardine themselves into this thing with an unconscious cat, and like he normally hides the general level of disdain he has for people on the material plane, but for the briefest moment, he's just like, ugh. Or he casually descends and just like perches himself in someone's lap.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah, this thing can go pretty fast, and I'm not sure how well you fly, so. And the cart starts moving. And yeah, you do get up to a pretty good clip. You estimate that it's probably going at 60 feet around. And it's just sailing. After maybe about 2 minutes of riding along this track that occasionally leans one way or the other just because of the grade of the cart, you get out from under the infrastructure of many, many, many carts.
Arthur, you need to keep her calm, just so you know, because sleep only lasts for a minute.
Oh yeah, she'll definitely be awake.
Oh my
It was
god.
just to get her in the cart and get it rolling.
Yeah.
Way to
that's
tell
what it
me
was.
that. Oh my god. When she wakes up, she's not going to be happy about this. Somebody's going to get cut.
Just doing something you don't need to worry about.
Yep. If you say make a perception check, I swear to God.
Meanwhile, Lark's just going to be like, Alex, is that a wand in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Yes, it does happen to be a wand in my pocket, and he pulls out a wand. Thank you
Oh,
very much.
God.
I always have extras on me. Jams it back into his pocket, and you do feel a jab as he jams it in. Like, oh yeah, that is a wand.
Spencer, you'll have to let me know when enough time has passed that she wakes up, because I'm not.
She's
looking
definitely
forward
awake
to this. Oh, fucking great. Okay, hang on. I think I'm gonna have her. I don't know what check that would be, because she's gonna wake up real pissed and want to attack something. So I'm like thinking maybe she should make a check to try to not.
Usually those are like wisdom checks, I think.
Okay, let me see what her wisdom is. Oh, good. That's fucking fantastic. That's excellent.
Yep.
Okay, she got a 15. Do we think that's enough to not hurt anyone?
For now. I'm going to say
Okay,
this
great.
is probably something where the DC starts incredibly low and ramps up every time she needs to make one.
Yeah. Which is probably going to have to happen about every minute. So I'm going to have to make, what, a dozen of these?
Depends on things.
Oh, great. Love the sound of that.
Yeah. So as you're sailing through this now empty cavern in the dark with very few lights here and there,
For sure
off in the
have the
distance.
light cantrip going.
Yes.
Also,
There's
Lark-
also a lantern on the front of the cart
Okay.
that they definitely have lit, but the light cantrip is probably not gonna hurt.
I have 120
Chauncey is
feet of
probably...
dark vision. Sorry.
Wait, what?
Oh, true. You have
The Shadow
120
Sorcerers
foot.
have like the best dark vision.
Yes, it's 120 feet, and you can see. No, you can only see through your own magical darkness. You can't see through all magical darkness. That's only if you take the Devil's Sight invocation.
Well, I'm a little human boy, and I like having light.
Oh, God. Okay, I'm sorry. I need a second. I just accidentally rubbed a menthol in my eye. I will be right back.
Oh no!
just to...
Oof.
Oh, that sucks. Oh.
Well, these are the things that happen when you record. Well, you do head along at a pretty good clip. The wind, this cave air blowing in your face as you're racing down the cart. The occasional creak of the structure kind of swaying a little bit, as this is very clearly a not very well used track. And then you hear off in the distance a scream. A very beastly scream from high up near the cavern ceiling.
Ceiling?
Yes, the ceiling, which is very high up. And you see Elsie kind of make some more hand gestures, and you hear, what's that? What's that noise? And Balthazar just, oh shit, I thought we weren't going to see one of those.
One of what?
If it is what I think it is, you definitely want to try and stay in the cart at all costs. And he keeps pumping, and he tries to pump faster.
What?
As you hear another shriek.
In response to that, Arthur just like, which is incredibly difficult with a wriggling panther in my lap. God. Sorry about that, gents. I had a Bengay situation, and I guess I touched it and got it in my...
Oh. Oh
yeah,
no.
still smarts a bit.
Yikes.
We're good. Can Can I use Jasmine's nose? I mean, I'm probably not going to give her the advantage on it because she's really not doing so hot right now, but
Yeah. You can.
okay. Well, that is a 14. Yep, that's a 14.
At the moment, she only smells cave.
Good stuff. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead.
I'm assuming the ceiling is far too high for the light cantrip to reach.
Right. It is far too high.
Is the thing making this noise within 120 feet of where I'm sitting in the cart that I can see it?
No, it is not.
Excellent. Which means I definitely can't either because I've only got half that.
Lark's just gonna call up to the stone speaker and be like, what is that?
It's probably a cloaker. Haven't seen one of those in a while. Maybe like 20 years. If they're as dangerous as people say they are, we might want to duck down in the cart. And at that moment, you do see something with a really wide wingspan just at the edge of your dark vision.
Oh, it's getting closer.
Oh.
Shit.
Oh, God.
Well, get prepared. It's probably going to be on our tail at any second now. And he starts just like, they keep trying to pump. We're going as fast as this thing can go.
At this point, that probably really freaks Jasmine out. So I'm going to make another check.
Yes.
And that is a 4.
Oh, she fails.
4.
She fails.
Okay. So I'm imagining I'm probably the closest person to her right now, but she wouldn't attack me. She just wouldn't. Who else do we have?
I guess
if you would like, we
dice
could roll we could roll like a D8. So we have Lark, Brother Chauncey, Alex, Percy. Is there another person in the cart? I don't think there.
I think there's a cat. There's Brother Chauncey's cat.
Oh, he probably dropped that cat off somewhere. He doesn't have Paunchy with him. So yeah, just roll a D4. Lark will be 1, Alex will be 2, Chauncey will be 3, and Percy will be 4. And whatever she rolls, that's who she's attacking.
And that's a 4.
Hell yeah.
So,
all right, Percy.
Come at me, Jasmine. Come at me.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Do you want me to just roll a standard attack roll for her claw?
Yes.
Okay. That is a 23.
That hits.
Uh-oh.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. Oh, God. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
She maxed it out. That was a 10. 10 damage.
Ah, God! What? Jasmine?
I said I was sorry. She doesn't like carts. I can't control her when she's like this.
Well, you better think of something
my
quick.
Bleeding face and are they scared of anything?
How long does calm emotions last? Does that last any longer than sleep?
I think it lasts like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Why did we not do that?
Because no one has calm emotions.
What?
Oh, yeah, you did have it prepared at one point, but
I still have it prepared.
I don't think calm emotions works on beasts, though.
Oh, fuck.
It's just a creature.
So then it would work on beasts.
Does it say a creature? Okay, yeah. Excellent.
Oh, wait, no. Well, the first thing it says people, and then the next thing it says is creature. So I'm not really sure.
Let me look.
Yeah, it says in a group of people, each humanoid in a 20-foot radius sphere.
Oh,
so
humanoid,
it's
so it doesn't work on
Cool.
So it doesn't work on beasts.
I don't got
Excellent.
cat magic.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Yeah.
Is there any way we can repel it? Like, what is this thing?
I'm not quite sure. It's been a while since anybody's ever fought them. But
Lark's
who
just
knows?
like still trying to keep his eyes around to see if it, because I'm pretty sure it's safe to say at this point he's the one who can see the farthest into the gloom.
Yes.
And he's gonna be like, he just hears he takes a minute to just snap his eyes down to watch Jasmine slash up Percy, and he's just like, you should control that cat, Arthur.
At
I
that
told
moment,
you she doesn't do wheels.
you do hear another scream from underneath you, somewhere below in the gloom. And then something rises up, and almost like a huge stingray curving up, you can see the underside of it that is white, and it spreads out its huge stingray-like wings. It has a horrible mouth that unhinges with two separate flaps, teeth on the inside, weird tongue. Its eyes glare down at you and it shrieks. And we are going to begin initiative with an
I knew you were going to say that. Oh?
That I will reveal when the time comes.
Arthur and Jasmine have a 22.
Uh-huh.
Lark got a 19.
Lark got a 19.
Wait, let me double check. It's either a 19 or 18. Let me check my bonus to initiative. 18,
And,
sorry.
This is the point where I'm going to have some of you, if you can, run the two NPCs, Chauncey and Alex. So Chauncey is going to use the pre-stat block, just like your mom. So if you would like to run
Sure, I can do that again.
Brother Chauncey. And if somebody else would like to run Alex, he uses the Illusionist stat block, which can be found on 214 of Volo's Guide to Monsters, if anybody can find that. And then if someone could roll initiative for, I don't really care who plays him.
Do you want to do it, or do you want me to do it?
If you found it, go ahead, because I'm still looking for the stat block.
Let me just... Illusionist and...
Oh, here we go. I found him.
Is it the chat? Did you find... Okay, I found one too. I found it on 5ESRD. Is that good?
That's what I found.
Okay, so I don't know.
Yeah.
You...
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll take care of him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
So yeah, hopefully it's the same one. He should have displacement as part of his description. Recharges after the illusionist cast an illusion spell of first level or higher.
Oh, that's...
I do not see that anywhere here.
I
actually.
have it up. If someone else wants to take the priest,
I can try to find it. Here we go. I got the priest.
cool.
Okay.
Trade.
It's on Beyond, so I trust that one.
Okay. And then I will run the cloaker. So
Okay.
if you can, so Percy, I'm going to need your initiative, and then I'll need initiative for Alex and Chauncey.
I got a 6, and Alex got an 8.
Oh.
Okay, and
Yofi's gonna be
Chauncey has a 5.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
Me and my boys
Guys
bringing up the
suck.
back.
Yeah, right.
All right. So
Alex is a higher level than me?
apparently, yes. I checked that. I thought he wasn't going to be that high of a level, but apparently he is.
Damn, Alex.
Yeah. All right, so first up, of course, is Arthur.
Okay, so I am going to do my, am I going to use anything for this? No, I'm just going to fire the dragon wing bow. Wow, lowest rolls I have ever got. Okay, so that one was an 8, which is still an 18 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
Okay, so then this is D6 plus D6 for sneak attack plus no, hang on, that's wrong. Give me 1 sec. Let me look at my bow again. That is D8 plus D6. Plus D6 for sneak attack plus D6 fire plus D6 fire. Okay, roll all of that business. That is a 9 plus 7, which is a 16.
16, and the damage difference does not matter. So you fire at this thing and hit it with this flaming arrow, and it shrieks as it continues flapping, but it is not deterred. At this point,
Yummy.
I am going to need the 3 of you, because it is initiative count 20, to roll me a d8.
Okay, I'm not sure I know what
Is this
that
a
means,
layer action?
but I got a 1.
1,
I got a
I got a-
3.
I got
3,
a 7.
7. So 1, 3, and 7?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right. So, as the cart trundles along, the cart hits something in the track.
Of course it does.
There's a loud crunch, and rising up from the gloom are a swarm of bats that fly around the cart. And I will tell you what happens if that ever comes into play. So next up is Lark. The cart is still surrounded by bats.
The card is
I gotta do
surrounded by
jazz quick.
bats. Oh, Jazz.
Yeah,
Oh.
I gotta do her quick.
Oops.
She's just gonna do a claw, which probably does not hit because it was a
Against
10 against what? Well, you know what? Let's say the bats because they spooked her.
all right.
Is that a swarm or is it like individual bats?
It's more of an effect, actually, interestingly.
Okay.
Because reasons. Sorry.
Okay.
So
We're gonna
she
say she swipes at the bats. Yeah.
She swipes the bats and swipes some of the bats out of the air, but it does not thin this swarm that seems to be swarming around the cart for now.
Excellent.
So I guess next up would be Lark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, great. There's bats everywhere. There's. How far away from us is the cloaker itself?
Probably about, I would say melee range from the back of the cart. It's really close.
Okay.
Yummy.
It's also
Back.
keeping up with the cart.
Ugh, it's fast.
It is.
But if it's in melee range with the back where Arthur and the cat is, I'm just wondering. But now there's I'm just like, is Lark knowledgeable enough? What am I gonna get disadvantage for using a ranged spell on the cloaker? Is what I'm wondering. Because I don't want to hit anybody else with a blast by accident.
Well,
I'll say no.
you would
not have disadvantage on a ranged attack.
Okay. Because like if I'm technically in melee range of something else, it's just like, God, can I shoot this thing? But okay. I'm just gonna do ye old tried and true and try to Eldritch Blast the shit out of it.
Yeah, I will say you can back up enough inside of the cart. The cart is cramped, but you can move around and wiggle around each other in the cart. So if you do need to back up to blast it, I will say you can and not get disadvantage.
So yeah, Lark's just gonna look up towards Alex's face and be like, "Sorry, lover, I have to go," and just wiggle off of his lap and crawl towards the front with his. He's like, "I have a wand too, and it does this," as he Eldritch blasts, shouting in Sylvan. Like in Sylvan, it's just like, "Get away, you ugly bastard." That is going to be a 13 and a 19 to hit.
The 19 hits.
Okay. That is 9 force damage.
That's including your...
It's 4 plus 5.
All right.
I'm gonna use 2 of my sorcery points to quicken another Eldritch Blast.
Fair enough.
2 sorcery points left after this. That's a nat 1 and a 17.
The 17
are doing
hits.
rough today.
Yeah.
Those bats.
And that is another 9 force damage because I rolled 4 again.
Ooh.
So much for Lark decimating things. It's fine.
Yeah, right?
So you just start blasting, and yeah, the bats swarming does make it kind of hard to hit this thing, but it is gigantic. You blast a blast through its wing, you blast singeing the side of its head, but the other 2 go wide as you try and aim around the bats that are swarming. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I like to think the nat 1 literally passes right in front of Arthur's face.
Why is it always my face?
And it's just it's a stream of a completely different night sky flying past you. It's pretty though. His magic's pretty.
Yeah, I've seen what it can do. Thanks.
He's just like, "Sorry, Arthur, I'm trying, but this isn't my usual way I fight."
Mm-hmm.
Toodles.
Mind your aim, dear.
So next up is Alex.
Cool. Alex is gonna cast Magic Missile.
Yep, that's a pretty good one.
Of course, I forgot to pull it up beforehand, see how many he would shoot. There it is. 1d4.
Yep, it's 1d4 plus 1 per bolt, 4 bolts at first level, plus 1 bolt or 2 bolts per... I think it's only 1 bolt per level above first. I should know this because Rerek uses it all the time. It's like his only offensive spell he uses.
It is, I believe it's 1 bolt for every above first, if I remember right.
And
because
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he does have 4th level spell slots, apparently. So
he has 1 4th level spell slot.
yes.
I think we'll start him off with the regular magic.
Okay. Nice, good old first level.
Yeah. So that is 3d4. 3, and a 3. So that's 12 damage in total.
Ooh.
And then he's going to use a bonus action to do this displacement thing to impose disadvantage on attacks against him.
Yes. And next up, because I am a dum-dum and I didn't read my numbers right, it should have been the cloaker then Alex, but we'll do the cloaker now. That's fine. It is actually going to, as it is flapping along, it gives out another horrific shriek. And its skin shimmers for a moment before suddenly you see, let me see. Oh my goodness, I should have read this beforehand.
I knew I should have marked a creature called a cloaker.
But how many? Oh, yes. You suddenly see, as it shifts, 4 of these creatures spread out, and it is impossible to tell which one is which.
Great.
And they all duck and weave out of each other.
Great.
It can cast illusions.
Does anyone have any
Apparently.
AoEs? Like,
And then that would mean that it is your turn, Percy.
Great. Well, I was just gonna guiding bolt, but now I don't know what one to use it on. Let me see. I mean, I don't have any AoE attack. Well, how close are they to me?
I would say it has maintained speed with the cart, so it is within melee range of the back of the cart.
Okay.
So you would be up against the back of the cart to reach out and hit it.
Or let me see the range on Spirit Guardians. And I'm gonna get all
Spirit
of them.
Guardians, I think, is a 20-foot radius.
You're probably right because you know D&D things.
And I also played a cleric for like a year, and this was my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Spirit Guardians, spiritual weapon, and then start flinging guiding bolts, and that's it. I called it the
Pretty good.
lawnmower.
the lawnmower.
No, it's 15 feet actually. You're wrong.
Damn it.
But so all of them, all 4 of them are within
Yes.
15
All 4
feet
of them
me?
would be within 15. All 4 of them are within 15 feet of you.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna go to the back of the car and I'm gonna cast Spirit Guardians then.
All right. And it makes a saving throw on its turn.
Yes, on it.
So it is not affected at the moment.
No.
But
But
it
you
moves
just
at
wait.
half speed. But I think it moves at half speed through the area.
Yes, it does. So
Yes.
it's gonna be
All
out of
right.
range.
So that is very important. Is there anything else you would like to do before it moves to Chauncey?
No. I don't have the best action economy.
Okay. So are you just gonna number these things? Like, are we just gonna call them 1, 2, 3, 4? Like the.
Yeah, let's just call them 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Well, then we're gonna go. I guess a guiding bolt on number 2. Why not?
All right.
So, do you want me to roll the attack, or is that even like a real? Okay.
Yes. I would like you to roll the attack.
Okay, let me get my dice. That is well, that was a natural 6. So I have very low faith in that. Hang on, let me check the things. That is what is your spellcasting modifier? What is this spellcast modifier? Wisdom. Okay. So that's going to be a 9.
Yeah, he flings this guiding bolt, but with so many people crowding towards the back of the cart, it's getting a bit hard to kind of hit at range, and it sails in between all of these weaving illusions of this thing as it continues shrieking and whipping its tail back and forth. So unless Chauncey has anything else, we're back up to the top with you, Arthur.
Excellent. Okay. I guess I am going to. Yeah, I'm just going to fire the Dragonwing bow again. And let's say we're going to shoot for the same one. Oh, critical failure.
Oof. So you
Critical
once again are trying
failure.
to aim through this swarm of bats at these weaving illusions, and you fire and just off into the distance.
Yep. Hold your tongue, Lark.
I'm sorry. What was that about my aim?
I believe I said hold your tongue.
And Jasmine?
Yeah, we're just gonna go for a claw attack. Let's say number 2 again to make it easy. And Jesus, these rolls are garbage. That was a 10.
Plus anything?
No, that's with the bonus.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, once again, these bats are annoying as hell, but they disperse. And it is initiative count
lovely.
20. So I need everybody to roll me a d8 again.
And what exactly does that mean? I'm not familiar with those words.
So basically, this is like chase mechanics. So every round, something's going to happen.
Oh,
that
okay.
changes as you're moving through this continually changing environment.
That's good. That's nice. Okay. Arthur got a 5.
5.
I got a 7.
7.
7 as well.
Oh. All right. Yes. Okay. So as the cart
I hate when he sounds like that.
races along, you hear, "Oh shit, hold on, it's a sharp turn." And whoosh, you hit this turn, and you all barely hold on in time as you all slam against the side of the cart as the whole track just goes sideways. And I need everybody to make a strength saving throw.
Okay. Well, that's good. Oh no, wait, that was a strength check. Let me not do that. Here we go. Strength saving throw.
You got a 17.
Okay, 16 for me, and let me double check.
Oh yeah, I will also
Oh,
need them for
NPCs.
Chauncey and Alex.
Okay, let me do Jazz,
Uh-oh,
and then
Alex.
I will do Chauncey. Okay, Jazz is a +3, plus proficiency, plus advantage. So let me roll.
So what did Alex get?
Well, he has a -1 modifier, so he has a 5.
Ooh.
Is my cousin about to die?
Oh
He
God!
falls out of the cart 120 feet to the ground. No, I'm kidding. What did Lark get?
So Lark does have a -2 modifier, but he rolled a 15, so he got a 13 total.
All right.
Yes.
I thought what just happened to
Well, you can fly.
Alex was gonna have to hurt, but hey, a 13 is not bad. Not bad for a sorcerer.
So what did Chauncey get?
Chauncey got a 12, and Jazz got a 10.
All right. So as
with
this
advantage
cart,
and proficiency, mind you.
ooh. So
Yeah.
as this cart hits this sharp turn, sparks spray up, and you all slide to the other side of the cart. Alex hits the side of the cart a little hard, and you hear, "Oh, fuck my rib." He has disadvantage on ranged attack rolls. Jasmine would also have disadvantage on ranged attack rolls, but she doesn't have any ranged attacks, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
And we move on to Lark.
Fuck.
Right?
So there's 4 of them flying around us now, and a
Yes.
swarm of bats.
The swarm of bats has
The bats are gone.
dispersed. The bats are gone. But the illusions are still weaving in and out of each other.
He's just gonna be like, ugh, and I'm gonna send 2 beams out with an Eldritch Blast. We're gonna send 1 at number 1 and 1 at number 3. So this is going at number 1. We'll say this is Cloaker 1. How's a 16 versus its AC?
It hits. The beam singes along his backside as he shrieks, continuing to flap, but doesn't disappear.
Oh, so that one takes damage.
Yes.
Okay, so, and that was number 1. That's going to be 8 force damage. And the one going after number 3 is a nat 20.
You hit
Nice.
the other cloaker and it just disappears.
Okay.
There are now only 2 other illusions swooping around. But they have now mixed up, so it is not a guarantee that number 1 hits.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to do with my turn. I'm not going to go with Sorceress.
All right. So next up is, in fact, the cloaker. And it is going to have to make a wisdom saving throw for the spirit guardians.
Yeah.
It's a wisdom saving throw, right?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. So it got a nat 20.
Whiffed it.
Oh,
God
It
damn
got a
it.
nat 20 and it has a +1. So a 21.
okay.
I think it
Well,
takes half damage though.
it's half damage, yeah.
Half damage.
So that's gonna be 3d8.
Oh,
Okay, it was gonna be 13, so now 6.
As these spectral hands swipe and scratch at these different cloakers, actually, that would mean that the other 2 cloaker illusions vanish because they've taken damage. So now there's only 1
God.
cloaker flying very close, and it is very, very angry. However, because it moves at half speed through your spirit guardians, it has to use the dash action to keep up with the cart.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it does not have an action this turn.
thank
Moving
God for that.
on to Alex.
Cool.
And remember, he has disadvantage on ranged attacks.
Yeah, he does. Well, I think the only ranged attack he has is magic missile, which just always hits.
Yes.
So, I guess he's just gonna magic missile again. 4, 2, the 4. So that's 13 damage.
As the magic missiles just absolutely slam into this creature, ripping through its leathery hide, it is hanging on by a thread. And at this point, it's no longer hunting. It is
Bleeding.
avenging its own injuries.
Oh.
And so next up, it is your turn, Percy.
Wonderful. I guess we'll just do a guiding bolt then. The 18 to hit.
18 hits.
Sweet. And then I always forget how much damage this does.
4d6 at first level.
4d6.
Plus 1d6 per level above first, I think.
Yes, that's correct.
It is a stupidly strong first level spell.
Right?
I love
15
it.
damage.
How much damage? 15?
15.
Yeah, as you fire this guiding bolt out, you hit it right between the eyes and it just splatters.
Yummy.
And the cart keeps going into the darkness as the threat has ended. So you are now out of initiative. And the cart keeps rattling along for a couple more minutes. A couple more
Great.
very tense minutes of Jasmine panicking in the cart as finally
So sorry,
the
Percy.
cart
So sorry.
pulls to a stop.
I like take my medicine kit out and start treating my face. Like,
Yeah, that would probably be a good idea.
Yeah, she was the only one who rolled max damage today.
As the cart slowly comes to a stop, and you are all encouraged to get out of the cart. You stand in this area that looks like it should be accepting carts, lots of carts, but it's eerily empty. The wooden infrastructure is rotted and collapsing. It is covered in rubble, but there is a stone passageway. And from the stone passageway, you see a faint blue glow. And that is where we are going to end episode 23. So, hopefully you all enjoyed that little deviation from the norm. We will be back next week, sadly still without Rerek. But we will see you then, and I will see the rest of you in about 10 minutes.